Shannon right at the top, unbeaten after 8 games. Dungannon right at the very bottom with just 1 win from their 6 games. Dungannon were at full strength, though, yesterday, a rare occurrence this year. Paul Archer returned to bolster up the midfield. Much was expected of a strong pack with international Paddy Johns and 2 under-21 internationals, Jeremy Davidson and Johnny Patterson, alongside him. The side skippered once again by number 8, Jeremy Hastings. Shannon were unchanged following last week's win over Cork Constitution. They had 3 internationals up front, Brian Rigney, Mick Galway and Anthony Foley, and much was expected of the highly rated A-cap, Eddie Halvey. There was a fair bit of talent behind the scrum, epitomised by their inspirational captain, Pat Murray. Referee this afternoon from the Leinster Society is Mr. Gordon Black. Jim Galvin, immortalised in Munster rugby folklore as the man who dropped the goal that beat the Australians a couple of years ago, gets such an important All-Ireland League game for both sides underway. Dungannon playing as the home side in unaccustomed white, their change strip, and the men in blue and black from Limerick, Shannon, playing with a very strong wind behind them. So Dungannon perhaps will have won the toss. That hasn't found touch. That's Niall O'Shea, brother of Billy. That's nicely turned by Dungannon. The white shirts there, the quicker. Ashley Blair. That's typical Ashley Blair. That's over the head of Pat Murray, the Shannon skipper, who's outside his 22, and he's kept it in. That's touch of Dungannon player. This is Paul Archer, a lively start. Archer came out of retirement just a month or 2 ago to help out his club, and his experience in the middle of the field has been important. And already Dungannon have given away a penalty, and remember, Shannon will be looking to put the ball deep into home territory. Kieran Maher, the man doing the tackling. There's Paul Archer, former Irish Schools international, been with the club for well over a decade. Jim Galvin, well struck, and that's what Dungannon didn't really want. They've conceded both possession and ground, and Jim Galvin's kicking, as ever, has been important. Shannon with the wind behind them in this, the first half. 4 minutes elapsed, still no score. There's Michael Galway, 1986. This man won an All-Ireland Gaelic football medal with Kerry. That's untidy, a lot of shoving going in there, and it's a free against Dungannon for closing that gap. Jeremy Davidson, the culprit. Shannon, of course, cannot, under new dispensation, drop directly at goal. Good driving by tight head Tom Walsh. Galvin, Foley, pop up to Eddie Halvey. Well taken by Johnny Patterson, his opposite number. Great Shannon momentum. This is Russell, looking for the gap. There's none there. Well tackled. That was Keith Walker, and that's a penalty against Dungannon. And early points, I'm quite sure, for the men from Limerick, Shannon. And perhaps a little knock on there from Gavin Russell, but he took one option. Support from Kieran Maher. What about that for a tackle by Keith Walker? And at that point, Dungannon had got themselves offside. Just taking his time. Nicely struck, no mistake. Dungannon 0, Shannon 3, and 6 minutes gone. So clever use of the ball has taken the men in blue and black to within a couple of metres of the Dungannon line. Formidable Mick Galway. Hugh McCackey, former Dungannon skipper. Jeremy Davison gets up, a little bit of help from Paddy Johns. It's gone loose. Dungannon can't afford to lose this one. Shannon driving for the line. They're not too far away. The referee is well placed and says, no, that's a penalty, pulling down the maul deliberately. So Mick Galway, one suspects the culprit, Brian Rigney, not exactly guiltless. And it was anxious times indeed for Dungannon. That's well back. Eddie Halvey takes. Put to ground by Johnny Patterson. Shannon drive in. They've made great ground. Galway leading the charge. Tom Walsh, the tight head, was in there too. This is Gavin Russell. This is Foley. Foley keeps the ball well, lays it back. Johnny Patterson over. No, the ball was out, says referee. Mick Galway recovers. This is Kieran Maher. And that's Dungannon offside this time. What a great warrior Mick Galway has been down the years now. The holder of 21 Irish caps, and who knows, may get back into the side for the game against the French. And he may just have pushed that wide. It's curled in. Oh, he's judged that beautifully. So 56 points for the season, 2 out of 2 here at Stevenson Park for Andrew Thompson. This means with 15 minutes gone, it's going to be Dungannon 0 and Shannon 6. A lovely, lovely kick, well judged. Well taken in by Dungannon. Jeremy Hastings, the skipper, who got above everybody else. Megarry, a little bit flat. Johnny Boyd gets inside Eddie Halvey. And he's turned well. Megarry, that's a bad kick. Paddy Johns retrieves, that's good driving by Hugh McCackey, busy as ever. Nicely picked up, this is better stuff by Dungannon. Johns down on one knee, then getting up and making his way into the Shannon half. This is the best bit of Dungannon forward play so far. Ronnie Carey, low, close to the ground, great acceleration. Wonderful forward play, Willie Anderson will be pleased with that. Ashley Blair still got support. This is McCackey again, what an afternoon he's having, Hugh McCackey. Paddy Johns. Well, the Dungannon pack have made some 50 metres all on their own. This is Archer on the charge. Gordon Black is there, and Dungannon thoroughly deserved that. Great piece of play. Kieran Marr coming in the wrong side. And if ever a penalty was due, it was due to the Dungannon forwards, because that was a great piece of driving. Well, they took it on and they took it on. Paddy Johns it was who picked it up, took it into the Shannon half. Then it was taken forward. Hugh McCackey was there as well. Great support all round. And when the ball came back, you did feel that a penalty was going to come. Dungannon desperately need this to close this gap. It's off the post. And Shannon clear and roars from the Shannon contingent. And Keith Megarry will not be pleased about that. Eddie Halvey, the man who cleared it. It looked as if it was going to be good, and at the last moment, it just stayed put and off the post. And they're slapped back in the middle of Stevenson Park. Good strike, bad control, well away. This is Blair. No way through, good tackle by Halvey. And the Shannon pack coming in and driving well. Dungannon have won that. Carey at scrum half. And Blair, an intelligent kick over the head of Billy O'Shea, of whom we've seen so little. And Billy O'Shea has to pop that into touch. Yeah, just keep eyes and ears open. I think Billy O'Shea is saying to everybody, he had a great season, not just for Shannon, but for Munster as well. That's taken quickly. As Hastings, the skipper. Play on, says Gordon Black. This is Blair, nicely moved. It's Johnny Boyd. Johnny Boyd's not too far away. Dungannon 3-4 metres out. Paddy Johns driving. There's the post. That's Blair. If they move this, they must be in. Oh, dreadful. Billy O'Shea comes across and kicks it into touch. And Gordon Black, I think, is awarded a penalty try. He has indeed. Well. Well, now was it done deliberately, where a try might have been prevented? Yeah, Billy O'Shea knocked that forward with his hand. A deliberate knock forward. The try almost certainly on. Very certainly on. And Peter Sanford might well have been in, the former Portadown wing three-quarter. As it is, Dungannon have been given the try. Keith Megarry, no mistake this time, and 24 minutes played almost, and it's Dungannon 7 and Shannon 6. Well, Dungannon, all the pressure, really deserves something. They missed with the penalty, not with the conversion of the penalty try. 7-6 to the home side. Jim Galvin with the restart. That's a very good kick for his pack, just across the 10-metre line. Comes off the body of Anthony Foley. Kieran Marr drives through. That's a penalty against Dungannon for a little bit of holding back. And Shannon have the chance to regain the lead. Mick Galway, determination written all over that craggy face. The wind has picked up again, so not an easy kick. It's well struck, and he's curled it in. Oh, a study in concentration and a study in excellence. 59 points for the season, 9 this afternoon. Dungannon 7, Shannon 9, and almost 26 minutes gone. Well, Shannon bounced right back, and what a very good kick in difficult conditions. The touch judges, no hesitation, both flags straight up. Good Shannon lift again, Blair under pressure, Ronnie Carey. Now the little Irish international finding no way around all those men in blue and black. But they've won it, Dungannon. Megarry, Johnny Boyd, still going, former Ulster flank forward, now playing in the centre with a fair degree of success. This is Jeremy Hastings, his skipper. Great determination by the Dungannon pack. They've kept it going. They're still in there. Johnny Patterson up and drives. That's nicely done, Blair. Well, unorthodox but effective. Archer strong enough to stay on his feet. Got support from Keith Walker. Paddy Johns and Eddie Halvey in a bit of a tussle. Good play by Dungannon. Patterson's got it, and Johns has come round cleverly to lend his weight and experience. Now Dungannon will try and drive and churn and suck the Shannon men in. There they go, there's Hastings. Now Willie Anderson will be delighted with this, and Davy Hazlett too. Ashley Blair, Megarry, there's a chance here. Archer, Ronnie Carey, no room. This is Archer, great stuff. Keith Walker just couldn't quite hold it, went forward, and well played once again by Dungannon. Well, they really have played splendidly. They've conceded the penalty, but that really was great play by Dungannon. The pick-up. Great Dungannon defence, and Shannon haven't been able to cross the gain line. Far from it, they've been thrust back. This is Halvey, taken off, not quite at the knees. Again, they win it. Mick Galway, strong man. First time they've moved it. That's gone wide. Pat Murray, nice transfer to Billy O'Shea. Oh, great covering tackle that was by Johnny Boyd. A genuine wing three-quarter up against a converted back row forward, and the back row forward closed him down. But lovely to see Shannon move the ball. That was their policy from a couple of years ago. Pat Murray into the line, beautiful transfer. Billy O'Shea with a fair old bit to do, and look at Johnny Boyd. Well, no wonder he was rated as a very good open side flank forward. Great tackle, man, ball and everything. The odd umbrella up, the rain has gone off, but I don't think it'll be for very long, knowing the weather down here in Dungannon. Dungannon just inside the Shannon half. Well-controlled scrum. Hastings, the captain. Blair, the former skipper. And the referee doesn't like it and has asked for it to be put in again. Ashley Blair, his partner, Keith Megarry, is directly behind the Dungannon scrum, inside his own half. Again, the good strike. Shannon get a bit of a squeeze on. Oh, that's very disruptive. And they've gone right round through 90 degrees, and the first scrummage was much better, and Dungannon may just have relaxed. McCackey having a word with the men behind, saying, I could do with a bit more support if it's all the same to you. McCackey, experienced campaigner, having captained both Queens and Ards before joining Dungannon. That's a better strike. Down it goes. And that's a penalty against Shannon for taking the scrummage down. And Ashley Blair, that's his side of the field. And Keith Megarry has said, I'm going to have a crack at goal. And it's about a half a metre inside the Dungannon half. Well, ambition indeed. And that is an awful long way. Well, well. Keith Megarry, big kick, he struck it nicely. Oh, it's a monster! Well, I don't think I've ever seen Keith Megarry kick anything like that, and I suspect he hasn't either, and not even a flicker of emotion on the face of the former Methodist College and Queen's University outside half. Well, well, there's determination. An absolute beezer. It was from about a metre inside his own half. He kept it very low. One thought for all the world it wasn't going to make it. Well, it did. So, 10-9 ahead now, and 6 minutes into the second half. And Dungannon, a very beleaguered Dungannon they have been all the way through this season. Might just pull off something of a shock. Billy O'Shea, Pat Murray as skipper and support. Lovely transfer. This is Murray. A lot of pace. Johnny Boyd gets him and he's away. Pat Murray still going. Patterson and Archer both back. The Shannon skipper, well and truly leading by example. Gordon Black says play on. Shannon going for the line. They're not too far away. The immediate riposte by Shannon, as you'd expect. Eddie Halvey holding off 1-2 Dungannon players. And they've lost that, and Keith Megarry finds touch. And Gordon Black has given the scrummage to Dungannon for the knock forward. But what an immediate surge that was by Shannon. A lovely transfer between Billy O'Shea and Pat Murray. Johnny Boyd came across, a little wiggle of the hips, and Murray was away. It took 2 or 3 Dungannon players to pull him down, and Shannon won it, and they weren't too far away. Great response by the men from Limerick. So a lot depends on the scrummaging technique of the youngster Brian Morrow at loose head prop, and again he hasn't done badly. This is Blair. Oh, he's run into a bit of trouble. It's gone loose. Is that the try? Not too far away. Knocked forward, says the referee. And Shannon ever so close. And it was Gavin Russell who thought he may just have got the downward pressure, but it was after the knock forward. John Deegan. Mick Galway gets up. Jeremy Hastings takes. The ball drifting into Dungannon, but they managed to lose it. Anthony Foley looking for the dummy. He's got half through the gap. Well taken by McCackey. Eddie Halvey, well taken down. That time by Johnny Boyd. Mick Galway driving in a pretty uncompromising fashion, and Dungannon have been penalised. Hugh McCackey getting himself offside, and this may well restore the Shannon lead. Keith Walker going in as Brian Rigney, and Mick Galway going in. Well, perfectly legal. The referee was right on the spot, and Dungannon encroached. It's not a particularly difficult kick, or it wouldn't be under decent playing conditions, and without any pressure of this being a crunch game in the All-Ireland League. Andrew Thompson with 3 out of 4 in the first half. One out of 1 in the second, so it's 4 out of 5. And with 15 minutes gone in the second half, Shannon back in the lead by 12 points to 10. Big contingent up from Limerick. And Andrew Thompson really has been the main man for them this afternoon. Lovely kick once again. Both touch judges well positioned. Up went the flags. That's a good one. It's going to hang for his pack a wee bit too far maybe. Well taken by Jeremy Davidson. No sign of it coming back. Dungannon have it. Megarry. That's angled for the corner. And the referee has brought them all the way back. And I think he's actually awarded a penalty. Well, in all that, the referee was watching for what may have been an offside and has awarded a penalty. Waiting to come on is the 6 times capped Mick Fitzgibbon, who played all the way through the 1992 championship and in both tests against New Zealand, and has been plagued by injury ever since. So Keith Megarry, long way out. He's got underneath it. Off the post yet again. How frustrating. Well picked up by Sanford. Good support. This is Davidson. Great Shannon defence. Dungannon must try to do something with this. Sanford again. Johnny Boyd there too. Shannon seemed to have gone right over. The referee Gordon Black on the spot. So how frustrating for Keith Megarry. Off the post in the first half. Off the post in the second. And that kick may well have given Dungannon victory here. They've still got some 13 minutes to go, remember. Shannon 5 metres from their own line. Dungannon 2 points adrift. Shannon back row broken off. This is Blair. Little pop through. Johnny Boyd couldn't hold. The line was at his mercy. And that's going to be a Shannon scrummage. How very unfortunate. Well, a little pop pass was up to Johnny Boyd, and Ashley Blair was taken out completely legally by Conor McDermott, and that's where he got hurt. It looks like his right knee, and Dungannon have a pretty able replacement in Richie Weir, and Ashley Blair looks in an awful lot of pain. On comes Richie Weir. So 6 minutes of normal playing time remaining. And there's going to be a fair old bit of injury time to be played. Number 17, Richie Weir. That's a good Shannon strike. The scrummage has been very solid all day. Pat Murray, oh, good kick. Not under any great pressure, but that was the result of a very, very good scrummage. This is Weir. Well, that jersey hasn't stayed white for too long, and that's a penalty against Shannon, and a chance for Keith Megarry perhaps to win this game. And Mick Galway, I think, the man penalised for not allowing Richie Weir to play the ball. Hugh McCackey popped it in. Now watch this, there's Weir, down he goes. And the referee, I think, may well have judged that Mick Galway was on the ground at the same time as the man and interfered with him. So Keith Megarry, who kicked an absolute monster at the start of the second half to give Dungannon the lead, only to see it cancelled out by Andrew Thompson. Has had two very good kicks hit the post. He's wasting no time. He needs to draw that in, and he hasn't really allowed. A little bit more measured in his approach might have been better, but he really can't be faulted this afternoon. He's had a very good game, Keith Megarry. So he's missed with that one, and 4 minutes of normal time remaining. 10 to Dungannon, 12 to Shannon, and the grip on the All-Ireland League title tightening in favour of the Munstermen by every second. Dear, dear, dear. Poor Ashley Blair. Well, they say it's never over until the fat lady sings, but there'll be a lot of singing if Shannon can snatch this one. They've been ahead for just about all the game. They've dropped goal, charged down yet again. Just took his time, a little bit too measured. In goes Shannon, one on the ground by Eddie Halvey. Rigney is in there too. Well won, and who else to clear but Pat Murray? What a belter of a kick. And it may just have dislodged one of our hard-working camera persons. But Pat Murray has put the ball into touch, and Dungannon have it all to do again. Richie Weir, referee says no, let's have it again. A win for Shannon and defeat for St Mary's would give Shannon the title. Paddy Johns, Richie Weir, Keith Megarry, Paul Archer on the charge. Pete Sanford in from the wing. Johnny Boyd tries to set it up. Bit of help from Gary Leslie. Weir, Megarry has to kick for a man to chase. Ronnie Kerry looks suspiciously in front of him. That's gone loose. Well taken. Brian Rigney has covered a great amount of ground to get there. It's amazing just how the adrenaline flows when victory is there. Oh, that's come back untidily, and Dungannon got themselves offside. In fact, a man scraping the ball back. And we're now into the 5th minute of injury time. Jim Galvin will not be in any rush whatsoever. Early indications were that Blackrock had a substantial lead over St Mary's, and if that is going to be the case, then the 2 points here today would mean that Shannon will maintain the Munster grip on the All-Ireland Division 1 title, and I'm quite sure some of the crowd will be aware of what's happening at the St Mary's Blackrock game. That's well back. Dungannon's last chance perhaps. Megarry, that's the miss move. Johnny Boyd. Desperate Shannon defence. Boyd really thrusting forward. Not so, says the referee. Gordon Black has a look at his watch, and he blows his whistle, and Shannon have won this game by 2 slender points. And if the outcome at the Blackrock Mary's game goes in favour of Blackrock, then there will be celebrations not just in Dungannon but in Limerick tonight. A hard-fought game. Dungannon had the winning of it on a couple of occasions, but it wasn't to be, and the sheer consistency of Shannon has won them the day, and in all probability the Division 1 title in the All-Ireland League. The final score at Stevenson Park: Dungannon 10 and Shannon champions-elect 12.
It's 9 out of 9, that's what we came to do, Jim. 2 points is 2 points regardless how it went. We're delighted with the result.
A couple of years ago, Shannon looked like going down. They came here and got the win they needed. At the time, it was said that Shannon wanted to try to play a much more attractive blend of rugby. Do you feel you've achieved that?
Not in the conditions today, Jim. I think they went against us today. I think 2 years ago we were developing with a young side. Anthony Foley, Andrew Thompson players were coming through. I think they've come through now this year for us. And it all goes well for the future with Shannon.
Looking at the table, you'd have to be concerned, but we have the character, and we really played quite well today. I think if we can improve on that performance today, I think we'll win our last 3 matches.
A few thoughts perhaps for Dungannon, because they're still very much in the relegation zone.
Yeah, great side, you know, they really put us up to us there today. So like playing against 15 Willie Andersons out there, I think. But they're too good a side to be playing in the second division, I think. And you know, if they carry on from today, I can't. Then we'll take a lot of scalps from here on in.
I think it's very important for Ulster and for Irish rugby that Dungannon stay in Division 1. we have, as I said before, actually, we have scraped to lose where other sides have scraped runs. And it's very important, and I think we will stay up.
It's going to be very hard. Again, if you look, we've won 9 out of 9. It would nice be the first team in the country to win 10 out of 10. You know, that's something to go for. Depending on the results that would happen before that, I can't really say until April the 1st. I think that's when we're playing in Stonians. But I think we'll be all out to do 10 out of 10 if we can. All gone well.
Well, the only side that could possibly pip Shannon for the title was St Mary's, and they had to keep on winning, starting with a home game against Blackrock. The commentator, Jim Sherwin.
The rain stopped just before kick-off, but the gale force breeze favouring Blackrock in the first half meant that the entire match was played in the left half of the pitch. Blackrock pressurised and gained an early 3-point penalty, and after 8 minutes they scored this smashing try. Quick movement from McGowan to Mullen to Woods. Woods had Wall and Halpin and flicked the ball inside when he ran out of space, and there was Brenny Mullen to score Blackrock's first try. And indeed it wasn't long before Blackrock got another try. 5 minutes later, the Blackrock pack shoved and pushed and made a big drive inside the Mary's 22, which almost took them up to the Mary's line. Everybody involved, try as they could, St Mary's couldn't stop the drive. And when it broke down, the Rock pack stayed on their feet, and Alain Roland was waiting for the ball so that he could go to the right. Eventually it came his way. A little feint first of all, and then to McGowan, who tried to cut back inside and scored himself. There's a quick feed. Mullen to Ridge, and Ridge had the strength to get over in the corner. But St Mary's did get a vital penalty just before half-time, which left the half-time score 16 points to 3 in Blackrock's favour. But Mary's kept plugging away with penalties, and in the last minute they got a penalty which they decided to run with the score 16-12 to Blackrock. Philip Lynch used Kevin Potts and Victor Costello to make the drive, and that took them to within 10 metres of the Blackrock line. And then it came back to Barry, to Halpin, and there was Halpin in for the dramatic winning score in the final minute of the match, 17-16 to St Mary's.
Just 3 games played, the games at Lansdowne and Garryowen postponed. St Mary's 17, Blackrock 16, confirmation of that. Old Wesley 8, Estonians 3. And confirmation of the game at Stevenson Park, Dungannon 10 and Shannon 12. So it's the men from Limerick, Shannon proudly on top with maximum points from 9 games, followed by St Mary's and Blackrock. Right down at the bottom, it's Dungannon and Lansdowne on 2 points apiece, but Lansdowne, ominously for Dungannon, have got 2 games in hand. So Shannon very much on the brink of becoming All-Ireland champions for the very first time, and Dungannon a fair old bit to do in terms of warding off relegation. Well, a former Dungannon captain will be looking at that game with a fair bit of interest. Jimmy Davis, I think first and foremost we have to give full credit to the Munster sides, not just for dominating the league. They've really come back and have taken the Interpro title away from Ulster, and the power base of Irish rugby, certainly at club level, would very much seem to be down in Munster. Why do you think that is?
Well, there's no doubt about that, and I think we've got to pay them tribute. They've shown a competitiveness in their game which is inspiring. My concern is that maybe this level of football that we see in Munster is not translating itself into the Irish team. I think we have to see things in perspective. It's excellent to see people like Foley playing very well. Eddie Halvey impressed me very much yesterday. Brian Rigney, Mick Galway, they're all very impressive at club level, but I just wonder whether we're capable in Ireland of actually making that big step up to international football. I'm not even sure that the interprovincial level that they're playing for Munster is sufficient. We've got to try to give our players top-class quality competition. And I noticed the IRFU are hoping next year that we'll bring in Wellington and New South Wales, and that will help to develop a lot of our young players.
How much satisfaction does that sort of announcement give you, having advocated that perhaps 10 years ago, that the way forward was to expand, if you like, the Ulster, Munster, Leinster, and indeed Connacht fixture lists?
I'm delighted to see that expansion, and yet, strangely enough, or rather perversely, the Irish Rugby Football Union have decided that they're going to do away with the Scottish Interprovincial Championship, which I know Jim Telfer of Scotland is very disappointed with, because he's of the same opinion as myself, that we've got to expose our players to the very best quality football.
But everything really, as far as Ireland's concerned, must be dovetailed, do you feel, towards the national side?
I have no doubt about that, because that's where our Irish pride is, and we're going to recruit all our players from the youngsters of the country, if our international players are our sporting heroes.
In Division 2, just the 2 games played, a very significant one right at the top, Terenure 11 and Old Belvedere 15, and Bangor 3 and Greystones 22. So it's Old Belvedere from Ballymena and Terenure, and Ballymena now moving into 2nd place and very much in line for promotion, while right down at the bottom it looks odds on that Bangor will get the drop. They've just got 2 points from their 8 games played. In Division 3, Ulster's oldest club, North of Ireland, coached by former Dungannon stalwart Stuart McKinney, were setting the pace. They'd lost just once in their 8 outings to date. The opposition from 2nd placed Highfield, and the support from Ormeau from Mark Forsyth.
For the first 25 minutes at Ormeau, Highfield looked as though they were going to steal North's thunder. Totally in control up front, it was only a matter of time until out half Shane O'Mara gave them the lead. Terry Dillon made it 6-0 in 25 minutes, and North looked to be in trouble. Then step up Crawford Dobbin for a 3-minute period that turned the game. Try number 1, nicely along the line to John Megarry. He's held up, Alan Hunter backs up well, just as Dobbin appears on his opposite wing. Number 2, slightly more conventional, well worked by the pack. Alan Hunter with the crash ball, setting up out half Derek Wilson. The perfect little chip through, and there's Dobbin chasing through to finish it off. 12-6, the North lead. O'Mara picked up a penalty for the visitors just before the break, but that would be all they could manage as North went on the rampage in the second half. 5 minutes in, it's left wing Megarry who makes the break. And there's little scrum half Neil Doak in the right place at the right time to run in try number 3. Lamont added the conversion. And 15 minutes later, this penalty made it 22-9 for the league leaders. By now, North were running away with the game, but Crawford Dobbin certainly wasn't finished. Again, the pack set up the perfect ball. Wilson there again with the boot. And there's Dobbin, flying down his wing to the excitement of the crowd. No mistakes though, and that's the hat-trick. And it was the backline who made North's 5th. Alan Hunter and Colin Christie working well in the loose. Doak to Wilson, feeding Lamont in the centre. Megarry goes for the break, and there's Lamont again, looping round to finish it off. And just to round off the almost perfect day for the champions-elect and that man Crawford Dobbin, here comes try number 4 for the right wing. Controlled scrum, John Maguire with the pickup, and the rest almost inevitable. Dobbin collecting Colin Christie's well-timed pass, accelerating around Phil Haley, across the line yet again. 37-9 the final score, and North deservedly looking every inch Division 3 champions.
So confirmation of the North result, 37 points to 9, the margin of victory over Highfield. Water Park 6, City of Derry 10, UCC 0 and De La Salle Palmerston 0. So North right at the top, some 5 points clear of City of Derry, followed by Water Park and Highfield, both of whom have got games in hand. And right down at the bottom with 2 points apiece, Galway Corinthians and Ballina. On to Division 4, Queen's 5, Skerries 15, Collegians 25, UCG 6, Portadown 9, Dublin University 9. The game at Bohemians was postponed and the game between Sligo and CIYMS was abandoned. It's Skerries